One of the biggest reasons why most online coaches fail is because they suck at what they do. So in this video, I'm going to show you my 3-step process on how to really dial in your client delivery and your service experience. So that way you maximize your referrals, maximize your retention, and you get repeat customers and a really good reputation over time. So step number 1 is to do whatever it takes to dial in the process. So here you can sign like 2 to 5 clients, kind of do whatever it takes to get those clients, whether they're free trials or just very small fees, and really just focus on over delivering. So here you're really just trying to get as close as you can to your customers and your clients to learn as much as you can about kind of what they need, what their most common questions are, and really just how to best deliver and best serve them. So that way you can get a few case studies out of them and really just kind of boil down the core principles as to what's really important to them and what's not. One way you can do this is literally disappear for the next 6 months, get some clients, and then just focus on just over delivering. And it might seem like you're kind of falling behind. In reality, what's the rush, right? Most people that try to scale too quickly are the ones that come crashing and burning down even quicker. If you're following my channel, I don't want that to happen to you. I want us to be around here for a long time. Your client delivery and your client results is literally the foundation of your business. Without it, you're simply just kind of building a house of cards that's going to come tumbling down really quickly. So to avoid that from happening, it's crucial that you really just build a strong foundation of client results. And I'm telling you right now, if you spend the time to actually do this and you do it right and you dial in the service and the delivery, then you're going to make so much more money on the tail end over the long term, because your clients are going to get way better results than any of your competitors, and you're naturally just going to float to the surface and beat everybody else. And that's because most people try to scale way too quickly, right? They take on a bunch of new clients and they run them through a really bad process that really doesn't get clients results. They just dump more and more people through that bad process. But what you're going to get is just more bad results. And then over time, what that's going to do is it's going to negatively affect your reputation, and that word of mouth, a negative word of mouth, is going to destroy you and your business. And then you're not going to be around 2 to 3 years from now. And then you have to go get a real job that you're probably going to hate. So the main takeaway from this is to play a long-term game and focus on the long-term results. So after you spend a lot of one-to-one time getting really close to those first handful of clients, it's time to go to step number 2 and automate with a course. So now that you've got a bunch of clients that are really happy that you've worked one-on-one with, now it's time to remove you from the trenches a little bit and record a course to kind of outsource the teaching of your delivering of your principles. So what I mean by that is you're going to combine your delivery and kind of separate it between a course on one side and then coaching on the other side. So the course is really meant to just teach the core principles and the foundations and kind of the structure of what you do and what you help your clients with. Whereas the coaching is really in place to help your clients apply those principles that they're learning in the course, because everybody's in a completely different situation, completely different scenario. It's really hard to get world-class results just with a course alone or just with coaching alone. Because if you're just doing one-on-one, then you're having to teach new concepts to your clients, but you're also helping them apply those concepts, which takes a lot of time. So if you can outsource the teaching of those concepts by teaching it once in a course that your clients go through, and then after they watch each video or each module, then they'll come to you to help apply that principle and that lesson they just learned to their specific business. And especially once you've actually worked with a handful of clients, now you're going to be able to really boil down the core and really figure out what's the most important things to getting results. So really just think 80-20 rule here. What are the 20% of lessons or techniques or principles or strategies that you've helped your clients apply that led to 80% of the results? And then build your course around that. You don't need to build a world-class course straight out the gate. Instead, kind of think of it as a prototype model. Get a 1.0 version recorded and kind of just call it a day. As long as it's good enough, then that's good. Get a 1.0 course, have that set as the foundation. Make sure it's a decent enough quality that people can actually go through it. They'll be happy. They're learning good lessons. They're actually seeing results. But don't overthink it and don't try to make it 100% perfect. The way I see it is a course that's 80 to 90% of the way there is way better than a 100% course that takes 6 months or never gets recorded in the first place. You can always re-record it down the road 3-6 months later once you get even more feedback, sending more people through the course now. So now you're going to actually get some live feedback from them, and you'll start to hear like what the most important and the most valuable things are and the things that weren't really valuable. And then from there, you can really just fine tune and optimize the course. You can re-record it. You're going to learn a lot more about your clients. You're going to learn a lot more about the industry that you're in. And then you can kind of make an updated version and improve it from there. But essentially at the end of the day, by making the course, you're kind of automating the process of teaching the principles and the core lessons that you would otherwise be teaching as a coach. So this way, you don't have to be spending a lot of time teaching all of the principles, strategies, techniques, everything to every single new client that comes on board, because it's super repetitive and super time consuming. Instead, you're recording it once, having them go through that, and then helping them apply that on the coaching calls. And finally, step number 3, once you've really dialed in your service delivery, you've got a really good process, you've built a solid course that teaches the fundamentals, and you've been coaching your clients like with the help of the course for a little bit. Now it's time for step number 3, which is where you delegate with hiring a coach. Until now, you've been still in the trenches, but each step you're kind of getting out of the trenches a little bit more. Step number 1, which was to just get a few clients on board and just kind of over deliver. Like you're pretty much delivering all one-to-one. Step number 2, recording a course. Now you're saving yourself a little bit of time, but now by hiring a coach, you're completely removing yourself from the fulfillment, completely removing yourself from the delivery. And that's going to allow you to kind of work on the business rather than in it. And you can focus more on marketing and sales, which is going to grow the business, rather than delivery, which is going to help like serve the customers and serve your clients. So I'm not saying like sales and marketing is way better than fulfillment. They're just completely different. They're both absolutely critical. And without one, the other one doesn't matter, because your client results are the foundation. That's why it's really important that you get this step right. Because if you hire the wrong person, or you hire the wrong coach, then like everything's just going to seem really bad. Clients are not going to get good results. And it doesn't matter how much sales you make, your reputation is going to drag you down and it's going to make you crash and burn. But essentially the role of a coach is to kind of just replace your time, replace you in the trenches, and just like leverage labor to put somebody else in there. So they'll take onboarding calls, they'll take coaching calls, one-on-ones, group calls, and just kind of answer questions in the community as well. So what this does is that's going to save you even more hours every single day and further remove you from the trenches. So then you can focus on acquisition, you can focus on sales, you can focus on marketing, grow the business, and you've got the confidence now that your clients are going to get great results, because now you've got a full-time coach who can spend 8 to 10 hours a day serving your clients to the best of their abilities. Whereas maybe beforehand, you only had like 4-ish hours, right? So now you've got someone full-time dedicated to that, taking care of your clients. They're getting great results. They're happy. And now you can just send more and more clients through that machine and just rinse and repeat. So just to kind of sum it up, step number 1, dial in your process, make it repeatable, make it really simple. Step 2, put in a course, automate that, remove yourself from the trenches. Step number 3, hire a coach or a client success manager to completely remove yourself, so that way you can actually scale your business. So if you thought this video was valuable, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you want to see more like this, I really specialize in acquisition and sales and marketing, but this is extremely important. And if you really dial in the back end delivery, then I can better serve you as one of my clients as well down the road. So that's why I made this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If you thought it was, let me know down below. If you got any questions, shoot me a message over on Instagram. Best way to get a hold of me at Jeremy_Pogue. And I'll see you guys in the next video.